What's up, everybody? We are live on the internet, and the champ is here, Tyron Woodley. Tyron, where are you right now?
In Times Square. All these nice gentlemen and ladies walk by me.
Wow, look at this technology. You're in Times Square, New York, freezing your butt off. I'm out here in Los Angeles. This is great. Thank you for taking the time. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, but before I get talking about your future and your fights and Bisping and Conor and all that stuff, last time I saw you, we were in Las Vegas for UFC 207, and I just wanted to pick your brain and get your takes on what we saw out there, especially the Ronda fight. What was your take on the Ronda fight? Were you surprised at all about how that went down?
I wasn't surprised just because of the matchup. You know, a lot of people think because you pick a different opponent than you don't like Ronda. It's just that Amanda Nunes was a good style matchup, and just putting on my analyst eyes, I just saw her being a very problematic matchup for Ronda. And as a friend and teammate of the American Top Team, of course I'm going to support Amanda Nunes. And she's just been active, she's been hungry, and she's been finishing a lot of her opponents as of late.
Yeah, and I talked to Amanda a few times leading up to the fight, and she was in such a good, happy place where, she just seemed like everything in her life is good right now. Where Ronda, as you know, didn't do any of the media and kind of hid out on us for a little while. Were you surprised that Ronda first was allowed to just not do media, and do you think that affected her in the fight?
I don't think her not doing media affected her in the fight. I think Ronda's positioned herself in a position where she has a different set of rules. I mean, life isn't fair. I can complain about it, but at the end of the day, is it really that big of a deal? I think she's done so much media in her career, and she's projected this sport to a place that, it might not have made it had she not been, the person she is. So, no, I don't have an issue with that at all. I don't think it had anything to do with the fight. If anything, it should have helped her to be, to be able to be a little bit more focused and not have to do it in media. So,
do you think we've seen the last of Ronda in the octagon?
I don't know. I hate to give the pink papers to anybody's career, but I think that's a decision she has to make. The only thing that I do see is there's not a lot of matchups that make sense for her. She has so much star power, unless it's for a world title or a super fight. There's no real matchups that just point out right now.
And now I saw you talking to Cody Garbrandt after his fight. That kid put on a show against Dominic Cruz.
Both put on a show. I mean, I think we saw you seeing Dominic Cruz dominate, or where you used to see his style prevail against another style. But for the first time, we saw Dominic hit the wind a couple times, and that's what he's usually known for. So I thought it was a great fight by both guys. I'm friends with both. I tried to stay neutral and not root for him. You don't want to see Dominic lose because he's a great champion and he's in the top 5 pound for pound. But also, you do kind of want to see the story of this young up-and-coming fighter with this great story. Finally realized his dream as a world champion. So I enjoyed it as a fan. I talked to Cody a little bit before the fight, and I said, hey, enjoy the moment, man. I said, my wife told me the same thing. You only fight for your first world title one time. And sometimes there's so much media, so much going on, you forget to enjoy that. I said, whatever you can do, whether it's a handshake with a fan, whether it's something cool that happens this week, make sure you grab a couple pieces of the week and enjoy it so you can remember it.
Yeah, that's great for you to tell him that. And I think 10 seconds in when he started doing his little foot dance and I was like, man, this guy looks really comfortable in there.
Yeah. Sorry guys, I bleeped out for a second.
No worries. Yeah, so I was saying he looked really comfortable in there about 10, 15 seconds in there when he started doing that foot dance, and I was like, okay, this guy's got something tonight.
I mean, a lot of times people think that talking in there or taunting or dancing is showboating. But man, if you ever spar or if you ever fight, it's just something about taking the seriousness away from the fight. Man, you will never get tired. I can spar 10, 15 rounds if I'm talking crap and I'm kind of jiving around and I'm moving. And I think that if you can do that safely, if your defense, obviously his defense was up to par. I mean, I would like to see the stats on how many punches he made Dominic Cruz miss. Yeah. Those stats have to be astounding. I've never seen an MMA fighter in our sport with that much accuracy and precision and timing on making someone miss punches. So that's what that's about. I don't think it's a disrespect. I don't think it's that he didn't take Dominic Cruz seriously. But sometimes you have to do what it takes to put yourself in that comfortable place to make you feel more like sparring and less like a fight.
Yeah, and I think that comfortability showed throughout the fight, and then he wins it. He wins it for his buddy Maddox, who beats leukemia. I mean, what an amazing story for those two. It was a special night up there.
Crazy story.
So let's
crazy story, man. Crazy story.
It's a great story, and let's get to something else that happened to UFC 207. Do you know what I'm talking about backstage?
Who you talking about? The Count trying to get beat up?
Yeah, so you and the guy, I got this video. Let me play this 19-second video. You'll be able to hear it. You won't be able to see it, but the fans watching on Facebook will be able to see it. This is what went down between the Count, Michael Bisping, and Tyron Woodley backstage at UFC 207. Okay, Tyron, that was you and Bisping backstage. So what went on back there? Did you guys, is there a fight now between you two?
Man, it could be. You know, it was a lot of fights on the table that was offered, but that fight might happen now because I think it makes a lot of sense. I think fans are always looking for something that's, you know, out of the ordinary, something that's really exciting. And, you know, you think about it, usually when someone goes up in weight class, they give up size, they give up power, they give up speed. I give up nothing. You know, I'm very similar to him in weight. I'm stronger than him. I punch harder than him. You know, I'm faster than him. I'm a better wrestler than him. I'm a better grappler than him. And I'm a better boxer than him. You know, so I'm really giving up no advantage. And I can go and take his belt. So I'm down.
How much do you weigh right now?
Right now, I weigh like 200. Actually, I'm a little lighter. I was 200 pounds.
Okay.
But I think I'm in the mid-90s maybe.
Okay.
Mid to high 90s.
So you could fight at 185, no problem.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a problem. That's why I don't give any slack to all these welterweights missing weight, because I'm not light. I've been up to 205, and I found a way to shed the 35 pounds, and I got way less body fat than some of these guys that are missing. So
yeah.
I don't have any pity for them, man.
As you can see, there's some fan questions and comments coming up on the screen from Facebook, and Omar just said that you could knock Bisping out.
I would knock Bisping out.
It's crazy right now in the UFC. Like, so many great things are happening, and so many fights have happened, and we're looking forward to so many more. And this Bisping Woodley thing, we never would have thought about before 207. And then you guys.
I didn't even think about it until he started running his mouth in the back. You know, I'm like, damn. Does he really understand I would whoop his ass? I'm like, this is not a good fight for him.
Yeah.
Like, this is a horrible fight for him. But if he wanted to do it, I would gladly take your belt.
Well, Bisping, I was doing a live stream Saturday morning with Misha Tate, and Bisping came in and interrupted it and threw a loaf of bread at me. So
I saw that.
Do you see that?
Yeah, I did.
So some people are talking Nesbitt Bisping, UFC 209.
I'm down.
Who'd you take in that fight?
They talking who in Bisping?
Me.
You in Bisping?
Yeah. I've never fought.
You know how to punch well to the body?
No.
All right, well, that's what you got to learn.
Okay, I'll study up on that.
When you're lacking the years of experience, you got to be able to bring them down to your level and knock some wind out of them. So you better go to the body.
All right, well, you'll be in my corner then if that happens. I appreciate it.
I got your back.
Too Wood. I was watching. I've been watching your stuff on YouTube. Great stuff there with the Champ Life on YouTube. If you guys want to see what it's like to go back, behind the scenes with a professional fighter, Tyron's doing a lot of great stuff on YouTube. He's also got his podcast, which I was listening to this morning, Morning Wood with D's Nuts. One of the best podcast names out there.
Say what? We did not hold any punches back on that. Me and my man Dean Thomas doing big things with the podcast, and we talk about these. We talk about the matchups. The silence that we haven't heard anything from Conor. Conor had a lot to say behind the scenes in the weigh-ins, but he's been so quiet, almost mute to the point where he hasn't made any reference to some of the stuff I've said. And then talk about the Bisping matchup and the rematch potentially with Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, and also Damian Maia kind of getting a bit of the shaft because no one's talking about him, and he, if you're doing it from a pure sportist, maybe he's the most deserving of a fight. So we just kind of address all those issues. We have fun with it. Yeah,
it was a great podcast. I listened to it this morning, and you battled through a cold to do it. I mean, you're a true champion.
I know.
I get a cold and I stay home
the whole time. I'm glad you said that, so I can go ahead and let that cough out.
Oh yeah, cough. I mean, we're real people. We cough too. I mean, come on. Everyone on Facebook coughs. It's okay. So you talked a little bit about your next dream fights. Do you have a fight coming up if Bisping doesn't happen that you want to see happen for you?
You know, I just got some fights on the table right now. You know, for me, it's a certain fights that I want to have happen before I walk away from this sport. And the order is just, it depends on what makes the most sense at that time. Obviously, fighting Wonderboy again makes sense. Fighting Damian Maia makes sense. Fighting George St. Pierre, fighting Nick Diaz, maybe even Nate Diaz, fighting Bisping, George St. Pierre, I think I already said GSP. And, maybe even a rematch with Robbie Lawler if he, works his way back up. Those are all fights that I think that if I can get those on my belt, I'm a Hall of Famer without a doubt.
Yeah, I mean, you want to put those big names on your resume, and that's what the UFC is kind of going at right now, is these big name, big money fights. And the biggest name out there right now is Conor in these kind of fights. You talked about this a little bit on your podcast today, but what happened between you and Conor backstage at 205? I mean, at the weigh-in.
I'm glad you asked, because
I am too.
According to Conor's cameras, he making it seem like he flexed on me, which is actually the opposite of what happened. So we were doing a weigh-in deal. And I posted a video the day before of Conor faking like he was going to throw a chair. I made fun of it. If I would have done that, I would have hoped somebody would have made fun of me. So I guess I have a little thicker skin than Conor did. So he was upset about it. I'm like, how you going to be upset and you did it? So I walked past him and he kind of mugged me. I had said, what's up to him? And he didn't say anything. And he was mugging me and I turned back around. That's when you see the video when I stopped and I turned at him.
Yeah.
And I said, what's up? And he was like, what's up? And then that was it. But the way that a camera angle, especially the camera angle was shot from the Mac Life camera. How many times have we ever seen? We never seen a Champ Camp camera used for embedded. So they use his footage from his camera for embedded. When if you look in the video, the guy to the left, that's the guy from embedded. So they should have used that because they would have been able to see me turn around, say something to him. And at that point, I kind of left it at that. But we came backstage during the actual ceremonial weigh-in, and he was walking, doing this little strut, and he was, like, mugging me. I was like, man, please. He was like, please what? Please what? You like a woman with that phone. I'm like, this dude is so... I'm like, you like the woman because he's, like, pissed that I posted a video of something you did. Like, how you going to get mad? So, yeah, it was really nothing, and, I just put it out there that I'm not the person saying... I'm going up to 205 and fighting freaking Rumble Johnson or Dave Cormier or John Jones. I'm not saying any way because I don't care. That's him. So now that I finished my fight with Wonderboy, I was focusing on him at that time. If you want to fight, we can actually do it now. And all of a sudden, I hear crickets. So that's kind of weird to me.
Yeah, Leon Turner on Facebook just said, what do you say? I hope you knock him out? He said, Leon on Facebook said, I hope you beat the hell out of Conor.
Yeah, Conor's smaller than me, so I mean, I would fight him. I mean, it would be a win-win situation from him. If you lose to me, obviously I'll outweigh him. I'm in a different weight class. I'm a better wrestler. I punch harder. If he wins, then man, he's a champion in 3 different divisions. He might argue that he's the best fighter who's ever fought. Just what he's done in such a small amount of time.
I mean, if you're walking around weight is 200, I think that'd be quite the challenge for Conor to step up.
He would have to be like 170, 175. I can't see Conor weighing more than that. But Conor is a little bit taller than me. His arms are a little bit longer than me. So if we stand side by side, I won't look that, unless you start looking at our legs and stuff. But I won't look that overbearing to him. But that's on him. You fans, you viewers, you ask Conor if he want to fight me. If he does, I'm down. But if he doesn't, I'm not going to act like he's a punk or he's scared because he's not in my weight class.
Michael Smith says, Conor and Woodley is the biggest fight ever, ever, ever. I want to see it, I think he says there. Yeah, I think fans out there...
He won't abuse me in those press conferences like he does all these helpless people he fights.
Yeah.
I grew up on that. We'll go back and forth all day. So that's another thing. He mentally gets in these guys' head. It's kind of annoying to watch.
Yeah, he did. He did it pretty well with. He didn't do it well at all with Nate. I felt like.
Nate was classic. That was hilarious.
Yeah, I don't think you can get inside the Diaz brothers' heads. I don't think that's possible. Well, but one fan just asked, would you fight Conor in Dublin?
I'll fight Conor ass right here.
Right there on the
outside
street.
the Renaissance Hotel in Times Square.
You just told everybody where you are.
I'll fight him in St. Louis in the back alley on the side of White Castle, Krispy Kreme. I'll fight him anywhere. Like, I understand he's a bigger draw. He's the biggest name in our sport right now. I'm not going to be like, okay, I'll fight him, but it has to be in St. Louis, Missouri, where I live. Yeah. I'll fight him in Dublin. I'm going to need some extra security because I know them Ireland fans are going to be trying to really get at me. So as long as Dana ready to send me with a couple extra bodyguards, I'm down.
Well, before I can let you go, I need to ask you, everyone's doing their fighter of the year, picking their fighter of the year. Who is your fighter of the year for this past year in the UFC?
I'm going to have to say Bisping, man. Mm-hmm. Michael Bisping avenged 2 losses, knocked out Luke, who Luke pretty much dominated him the first time they fought. He knocked him out. He beat Dan Henderson. He beat Anderson Silva. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you can't really argue that. Who's the best fighter this year?
Yeah, it's been an amazing year for Bisping.
Yeah, it's been a great year. That's even more important. Like last year, the year before last, who was the fighter of the year?
Who was it?
Robbie Lawler.
Yes.
Who got knocked out on July 30th.
Yes, by
Lawler. So, hey, I don't mind taking out the fighter of the year. One of these years, it might end up being me.
All right, fans, let everybody know on Twitter that if you want to see Woodley and Bisping, let everyone know on Twitter. If you want Woodley to fight Conor, tag Dana White in these tweets when you're tweeting stuff.
Yeah, I did a poll on my Twitter. So if you can just go on my Twitter and find the tweet that I did with the poll. Mm-hmm. Select who you want me to fight. I'm not saying that whoever wins the poll in the next 24 hours, I'm going to fight, but I'll take it into consideration.
All right, to you, Wood. Thank you for joining us here. What are you doing tomorrow morning?
You said what?
What are you doing tomorrow morning?
Tomorrow morning, I will be ringing the NASDAQ bell, a company that's been supporting me for a very long time, MindBody membership software. They went public as a company, so I've been with those guys for so many years. It's a proud moment for them and me, so that's what I'm doing here in New York. All
right, thanks, Champ, for joining us. And everybody out there, follow him on YouTube, The Champ Life. Listen to his podcast, The Morning Wood with D's Nuts. And, yeah, that's the name of it. And
The Champ Life, the next episode is lit.
Yeah.
Partying with Ludacris, all the fights, all the backstage. It's going to be nuts.
All from Vegas. Yeah, I saw you with Ludacris in Vegas. You guys got to go watch that on YouTube.
That's why my voice is gone.
Yeah, you guys look like you were having a lot of fun in Vegas. All right, T. Wood, thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it, and great chatting with you, and we can't wait to see your next fight. Whoever